Justified City Primeval. I'm in it for the long haul, folks. I have not been kind to the show. I don't think the tone of the show fits Justified. I think Rayland Givens doesn't fit. I think he's been shoehorned in. I think I had on Matt, the Tad that shouldn't be, Unbearable 73. He's been a great supporter. He's on a little clip with me talking about the original trailer. This is based on a different book, but they kind of shoehorned it in, and you can tell it doesn't work. Really hasn't shot anybody, really hasn't done anything. It's a lot of just chasing and running around doing stuff. So episode 6 and 7, just doing them both. I just didn't get excited about it all. It just Raylan's like slept with like the frumpy jungle fever lawyer lady. And then they're kind of discussing it here. The next, wake up and it's like, oh yeah, here you are, right there. And she just starts talking to him about the book a little bit because you really just can't figure out what her motivation is going to be. And then meanwhile, we cut to Bert. Now Bert is this dude who's kind of a sleazy kind of guy. Well, he's in this book of secrets. The book of secrets is the key to everything now. We've changed. I don't even know how many times we've changed. But now we're on to the book of secrets. Whoever's got the book, well, Manziel's got the book of secrets. He and Sweetie are blackmailing, whatever, pulling your name out of the book they did it for like 10 grand. Well, then Manziel goes back and steals his painting. So this is this dude hiring a different white dude, this guy, Lonnie. Now, Lonnie was stealing from Bert, hence the job. It's all this wasted dialogue time. I don't care about Lonnie. I don't even care about Bert. Like Tobias ain't got nothing to tell me that oh my crap, I gotta start over. Oh, all right, I'm Pops. Justified City Primeval. Well, I'm in it to win it, guys. I'm in it for the long haul. What do you want me to tell you? I've not been kind to the show. I don't think it fits the tone and same Raylan that I'm used to in Justified. I know when I had on Matt, the Tad that shouldn't be, Unbearable 73, that guy, he was explaining how the actual book, the Elmore Leonard book, it's a different kind of thing, but it's like shoehorned in. And that's kind of what we feel. Raylan's not shot at anybody. He's just been like running around. We're like chasing MacGuffin after MacGuffins and stuff. And it kind of comes to a head, in different ways at different times. And then, I don't know. So where we left off was Rayland had slept with Frumpy Jungle Fever lawyer lady. And he wakes up here. I don't know if he slept with her again in this episode or whatever, but reality is they start having chitty chat. And she's walking this fine line of her name being in the book and what she's willing to do and all that. And it's kind of coming to a head. We kind of know it's going to come to a head, right? At some point, probably. But we move quickly to Bert. So Bert is this sleazy kind of guy. He's in the Book of Secrets, which is the new thing. Whoever got the Book of Secrets? Well, Manziel's got the Book of Secrets. Well, he and Sweetie blackmailed this dude for like 10 grand, pulled his name out of the book. But then Manziel goes back. He's our big bad. We'll see him, the underwear guy. Once he took his painting anyway, so Tobias goes, and his name's Bert in the show. It's just Tobias from Arrested Development. Who we care? David Cross. It's like once he grew the beard, he kept the beard. I don't know why, but it looks weird. Hires this other white guy who's like kind of a thief, stole from him. I don't know why he would trust this guy, but that's what happens. And then you kind of cut over to Manziel and the latest shenanigans there as they move through another conversation with Sweetie about what they're going to do. And there's bickering. And I kid you not, guys, we are like just chewing up clock. And then you get this lady. I got to be honest, I don't even know that I knew all their names. I had to look this one up. Her name is Maureen. I didn't know her name was Maureen. Anyway, she's in on the book, scoping out this person, that person, whatever. She's pieced together that they're sleeping together. Anyway, they're going to set up this Manziel sting based on Jungle Fever lawyer ladies talk about the book. They're going to do this thing. They're going to set up this sting. They're going to do that's it. They're going to roll it out. That's what we're going to do. Okay. That's going to be the premise of this episode. Okay. So all of this plays out. And then you got So this is, so a frumpy white guy goes to the bar looking for Sweetie. Sweetie's not there. Got gay guy. Sweetie's boyfriend. And then you have this long sequence with Manziel. And Sweetie gets the call. They're going to have this sting. And the girl's there about, just being in between all the time. I want to leave. I want to leave. She doesn't want to leave with it, and then this is the other black instead of just being lady bosses, they're black lady bosses. That's literally the difference of Justified is only offered us black lady bosses. That's the only thing different in this show. So she's totally corrupt to the bone. She's got her foot in the door to replace the judge, and now they're using the black book against her, and they're going to set up the sting, and that's the general twist of this episode. And Sweetie's trying to figure out how to excuse himself from this mess because of this Lonnie guy, and basically decides to hire him to take out Manziel. So it all is going to culminate with this big sting, right? So we're going to get this big sting. It's going to happen. Here we go. So we're another big sting. So it's 30 minutes. It's about 45-minute long episode with some credits or whatever. So we got this big sting with Manziel. Manziel shows up. He's just hanging out, and they're just chit chat. And he's rude, and he's whatever, just being his typical self. And this is the other white guy. He's gonna knife him, right? Because he doesn't even know what he's walking himself into, really. And they shake Manziel down, and he's got nothing. So then you end up with this just Raylan face off thing. He's frustrated because Manziel walks, and it's like 30% Justified. It sort of feels like Justified, but not quite. And part of it, I think, is just we were so immersed in that Kentucky atmosphere with Boyd and all of that. It just felt like Justified. And being here and with this guy, they don't know what they want him to be like. He's not really psychopath enough. He's not really country enough. He all these constant scenes running around in his underwear all the time. It's just it doesn't quite work. Anyway, so he walks. There's all this talk. They have some talk. Are they going to go to bed together or not? And then he realizes that it was a setup, and he goes back to confront Sweetie about it. Now, the problem here is it's supposed to be creepy and menacing, and it's not a bad scene. It just doesn't get me to the level that they want me to. Like, I've been watching this dude run around his tidy whities. He just shoots people randomly, whatever. It's this long, drawn out process of turn on this music and I'm gonna sing for you. And I ain't dealing with you're a white honky butt. And it's like, I don't care. And he just shoots him, and that's it. And then gay guy sees the flames because the place is burning down. They set him on fire. Right. So that's what happened. It's just all going up in smoke. So, you know, it's dramatic. It was good. I mean, it's not the best or the worst of things. So there's that. All right. We have one more episode. So let me pull that one up. It is time consuming to download and prep all this to kind of get through it. So in this episode, they waste all of this time with this backstory. This is like Sweetie in the 80s. Doesn't have the bar yet. He's got the little girl right there hanging out. He's like babysitting. So he's there, and it's like hanging out with his boys and talking about what they're going to do and all this. And literally, I kid you not, they go to this place where it will be the bar, and she drops an F-bomb because they're so cool. And it was like 5 minutes of time just to cut to real time when it's all burning down. And we can see little girl who is now Jungle Fever lawyer boss lady melting down because Sweetie was her surrogate dad. Okay, that's where we are. I feel like this should have been reorganized with the last episode. Maybe it would have been more impactful to have the backstory first or something, or they could have combined that episode with this episode or something. It didn't give me the oomph that they were going for, but I know what they were going for. That makes sense. All right. So, and by the way, Sweetie's gay, hence the name Sweetie. So this is the gay boyfriend or whatever. And he has the gun. So this is the gun that was used to kill the judge We've been looking for the gun this whole time until we started looking for other stuff like the book, but we used to look for the gun. The gun's right there. The gun was used by Manziel. Shoot the judge. It's been kept under wraps, allegedly. I don't know how this guy found the gun at the jukebox and has moved it without getting his prints all over it, but we're going to ignore that. We just know it was Manziel. We can't prove it because there's no prints that match. That's going to be where we're at on things. So then it's about Manziel, and it's about Manziel being angry. It's about the gun, and it's about her trying to figure out how to get him to leave, and it's about um, Manziel showing up at Jungle Fever boss lady, and they had this conversation about his mama and Sweetie. I just don't care at this point. It's almost like we've gotten so tedious. I'm not really invested in these characters. She panics and goes to see. I know the other subplot that we had like 3 or 4 episodes ago that we've totally forgotten and don't care about anymore because things are not threaded together. This is you can tell this is in. Hmm. I don't think this was shot before Disney bought FX. So it feels like Disney storytelling. Like it's scattered. They leave a subplot for so long, you no longer care about it. So the Albanian guy that was catfished, you remember all that for a while? And then Manziel dropped the panic door on his leg. So it crushes his leg. And you had the whole Albanian thing and running around trying to figure out how to be. So the Albanians are back in this episode. So remember them? They're back. I don't know if you like them or not. They're back. She tries to play cute and sweet, but it's funny because she never really gets that flirty with him. She just kind of like just tries to talk her way. Anyway, he basically just like, you're dead. You're dead. You're going to be dead. So she really panics. And that's when he comes home and then basically just get it on. I know. Then there's awkward time with them. And we assume they sleep together because we cut to the empty bed shot. And she dips out on him. And then come to find out, Maureen and the authorities have just went and grabbed some other guy. So they're derailing the whole process, trying to pin it on this poor dude. And okay, it's barely explained. It's just, again, I feel like it's just like, well, this is what we're going to do because that will take all these other characters off the plate so we can end up with these characters. We need to get to these characters. This is what we want at the end. So I think it's more like, I don't know that it's not AI story writing, but it's like engineered story writing. We need this to happen. So here's what we're going to do to make this over here. It's like it doesn't really make sense. Like when you take the story apart, it's like things don't thread together and fit together well. The puzzle is like missing pieces and things like that. It's just a complete and utter mess. So then they talk about that. She's at the airport, some conversation about okay, I lost track. I didn't even know who this guy was for a minute. So because they're talking about it enough, I'm pretty sure I figured out that this is the dude that owns the place that they've been staying. I think it's been so long since we've had this part of the story. I don't blame you if you don't know. If you binged it and you're watching this me talk about it, I totally get that I sound stupid because I didn't. And it's been like a few weeks since I've seen this guy. And there's this come here, come there kind of thing. And reality is, you know how it's going to play out. It's going to play out with Raylan and Menzel talking face to face. And this is just all set up for this moment where they're all here. He's here talking. And it's just so dumb. Raylan's so smart and clever and interesting. And then like the gunslinger. And here it's like, just grab the gun. I'm like, did you think you were just going to get him to grab the murder weapon and then try to shoot you with it? Was that your plan? The plan didn't make sense to me. Like, I don't understand the plan because he wouldn't grab the gun. I thought maybe there was a trickaroo. Like, Raylan was going to have the gun and then Mansell would grab what he thinks is Raylan's gun, but that's actually the murder gun. I thought maybe there was going to be some sort of weird switcheroo. I don't know. Nothing ever comes of it. I'll be perfectly honest. And by nothing, I don't mean nothing like, oh, it doesn't matter. What? No, everything that's just happened. is interrupted because we just talk about it this whole time. It was just talking. The Albanians show up because they knew where they were. Yeah, they did. So they show up and they basically walk in like bosses. Give me your guns. You're coming with me. Raylan's a federal agent. This is I understand this concept that they're going for with these powerful mafia type people or whatever, but again, verisimilitude, the believability within the framework of what we're supposed to be doing, this none of this works. It just becomes completely retarded for the last 5 minutes. Yeah, they're in the car and there's talking, and this is the big boss talking about how justice versus whatever, and he takes the gun, the murder gun, and drops it in the river. And you feel like now they have to quote do it his way. And you actually see Raylan's like sink down. Like it's we've gone the whole season. He hasn't shot anyone. He never said it was justified. And he really hasn't accomplished anything. The murder gun from Judge. We've been racing around town, whatever about murder gun. We finally get murder gun, and it ends up in the river anyway. Okay. There's been times where we were racing around looking for the black book. This dude allegedly has the black book, doesn't bring it to the sting, so he's free and clear. It doesn't come up in the conversation, I don't think, at all in the restaurant with the murder gun on the table. And the Albanians, who were like a side quest for the girlfriend, was like a hustle story subplot. They're the ones that come into this big finale. Okay, you can see why this isn't as much of a priority for me as it was when it first started. Like I was really kind of looking forward to seeing some good Justified. I was hoping that I'd go home to Mrs. Pops and go listen. There's some good Justified. We're gonna watch it together. It's gonna be fun. We'll watch a show. My God, what a mess! Just an absolute mess. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I am Pops. Take care till next time. See you then.